Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would kind of show for you guys just what I've been doing with range of motion stuff in the last week. Rather than an individual training vlog, people are asking me things about, hey, you're doing different stuff with range of motion. I don't understand. I'm not following the vlogs. So this is just a lot of the top sets that I've done over the last week. Just to show you guys what I'm doing with everything so that you understand. Notice the benching. We're flat back. There's no belt, no wraps, no sleeves, nothing. Like all of this stuff is just raw. I'm in shorts and a pair of shoes at this point. Okay. I am using weightlifting shoes for some of it. But again, I'm working on my mobility. This is the first week, by the way, that I've been able to do chin-ups or pull-ups in a very, very long time without pain. Now, is the range of motion on these perfect? No. I was not able to do this. And some people have already pointed out, man, your range of motion is actually better on these than it was months ago when you were doing them. And I'm glad that people did notice that. It is not perfect. It will need to improve. And it's not that my range of motion isn't there. It's that I am not flexible or mobile enough to physically go any deeper. Those are pretty much dead hangs. But we're improving. That didn't hurt. I was able to stretch into the bottom. So if I keep doing dead hangs, I keep doing the pullovers, that's going to improve. All right, incline bench, same thing. This is really wide grip. My hands, middle of my hand is in the rings for reference. Okay, we're trying to pause this stuff, trying not to arch my back very much. I'm trying to keep that butt down in the crease of the incline bench. I've got it at 45 degrees. I'm doing my work sets with this 225 here. Everything is paused just like on the bench. All right, I'm trying to put as much stretch as possible on the pectorals on both of these to make them the most complete range of motion possible. Same thing with the chins. I'm doing as far as my structure will allow while continuing to do other work to improve that range of motion. I'm doing dead hangs every day. I'm doing pullovers on these upper body days. All right, rows. I'm just doing bent over rows because I can stretch the lats more. I'm letting my lats stretch completely forward. I'm using a little bit of body English. Some people didn't like that. All right, they didn't like that, but that's okay. The whole point here is I'm able to get a deeper stretch on that, plus the grip training. All right, instead of skull crushers at this point, I'm all the way over to lying extension. The skull crusher is to the forehead. The laying extension goes behind the head. Now, I am doing these as deep as I currently can, at least, reasonably. I may work on getting these a little deeper as the pullovers open everything up. The idea here, easy on the elbows, gets a nice stretch on the long head, is to complement all the pressing. I'm doing all that benching. I'm doing all of that incline work, all with a fairly wide grip to really, really build my chest up. So here I need the tricep work. And I think a lot of people have pointed out my triceps are still possibly my smallest and weakest body part. Keep in mind, I'm not a bodybuilder, but form and function go hand in hand, guys. All right, for curls, I'm doing fairly strict curls. I'm doing these almost as a drag curl. I'm leaning forward, trying to go all the way down and stay at the bottom just briefly. Why? I want to make sure that the bicep tendon gets stretched. I have a lot of problems with completely locking my elbow out. We know this historically. I am hoping this extra stretch combined with the dead hangs will continue to improve that. I need to have that additional range of motion. And again, all this range of motion stuff I'm doing, guys, here's the idea. You ready? It will build more size and strength. Because if we build more mobility, we can get into lengthened positions. We can get the most stretch load on the muscle. We'll get bigger. All right, you guys are noticing a theme on all my power lifts. I am not doing them powerlifter style. Doing very old school, straight up, full range of motion stuff. All right, that was a pause squat before 55. Again, I'm letting my knees come forward. I'm dropping as deep as I can on this stuff, trying to use as much quad as possible. I'm using these to build my quads up. We're building the quads up. Then for the hamstrings, of course, I'm just doing a bunch of reverse hypers, which I'm not going to put in here because there's nothing special with that. All right, we're going to have a long video without even including those. just deficit deadlifts, reverse hypers. I'll have some days where I'll probably work some other hamstring work in just to do it. But same thing, when I'm not doing pause squats and I'm just doing normal squats, what are we doing? Doing them very narrow, letting my knees come forward, going as deep as I can. Why? I want to build as much quad as possible. As much quad as possible. Okay, I'm also having to build my abdominal wall and everything more with this. But it's all high bar. These are done as Olympic style squats. I want to eventually start doing the Olympic lifts, not because I want to compete in Olympic lifting. I want to be clear, I'm not hiring a coach to teach me how to do them perfect. I just want to be proficient, and I think they're good exercises. I don't have the shoulder mobility to do them. All right, doing my squats in this manner will help. I am doing some front squatting. I didn't include it in this because it's not good enough. My rack position is not strong enough to be decent. Like the most I've been able to even rack has been 285, which is negligible considering what my other strengths are. So we'll include that more in other stuff, but this is showing what my squatting looks like. Squats are a phenomenal overall exercise. Full squats like this will help your athletic ability, they'll help your size, they'll help your strength. I am wearing weightlifting shoes for these at this point. Why? Again, making them use the quads more. I want to bring my quads back. When I was squatting, 600, even though it was high, my quads were bigger. I need my quads bigger. It will actually help me get leaner faster because then my energy turnover will go up. I'll look more jacked. I'll be stronger. It will carry over to a big squat. Again, the idea, if I choose to step back on the powerlifting platform and use a powerlifter style lift, I will be stronger for having done all this stuff this way. It will carry over. Deadlifts, I'm over at this point doing them on a 2.5-inch plate while wearing weightlifting shoes. Make sure that your hamstrings are strong and your low back is in shape before you try this. Okay? On these, just like with some of the other stuff, I'm doing some heavy work and then now I'm doing some back down work, right? Stripping some weight off, going a little lighter, down under 500 there. But the same idea. Increasing the range of motion, doing the most difficult version possible. I'm using a power bar, not a deadlift bar. We're on a big deficit, weightlifting shoes, no belt, right? Just straight up chalk and shorts. Again, probably the most difficult variation I can come up with of a conventional deadlift. And then I'm doing long pause squats on my workouts also, again, to continue to improve my mobility, to get a stretch overload in my hips, to get a stretch overload in my quadriceps. I'm doing really long pauses, near the end of my lower body sessions, right? So I end up trying to hold stuff for 20 plus seconds and just stay down there in a narrow stance as deep as I can go, do breathing squats. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.